Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, the first message, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation of that message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a man that comes from Zim, and currently I am staying here in Johannesburg. Ever since I came to South Africa, I have been staying in a hotel where I spend, this is the money that I spend on a daily basis, because I only stay in hotels here in South Africa between 8 even up to 13, 14, 15,000 rands on a daily basis. When I came to South Africa, this was after I had done some rituals that I had done back home in Zim. So I have a snake that was given to me by this other man that is from Mozambique. So that man had told me to return his snake back to his country because he was quite old and he was unable to take that snake back that he was using when he was still able-bodied, when he was working as a traditional healer. Since he was quite old, he then suggested that I should take the snake with me to Mozambique and leave it by the traditional healer's house, where the traditional healer's children were going to take this snake from me. But when I went to Mozambique, I did some things with this snake. I spoke with the snake, and the snake told me that we could make our own deal, and after we could have made our own deal, then it was going to give me money. I then chose to return back to Zim with the snake that had been given to me by that traditional healer. When I returned back to Zim, the snake then told me that it was going to make me to become very rich, but I was supposed to sacrifice my father. I sacrificed my father, and what I did was truly horrifying, and it was truly evil. I purposefully made sure that my father's corpse, it stayed in the mortuary. I paid the mortuary a lot of money because I wanted them to keep my father's corpse so that I can cut off his manhood, as I had been told by that snake that I was keeping. It told me that in order for me to make as much money as I wanted, I was supposed to keep my father's dead body in the mortuary. So I then did as I had been instructed by that snake. When I got the opportunity, I went to the mortuary and I cut off the manhood from my father's dead body, and I kept it somewhere else. So what I do is that when I am sleeping with a woman, like now here in South Africa where I am currently staying, when I am sleeping with a woman, I will use some charms on her. Let us say that I pick up a woman in the club and I bring her to the hotel where I am staying. I use charms on her. She will fall fast asleep, and after she would have fallen fast asleep, then I'll take out the manhood. I will be holding the manhood as if I am holding a dildo, and then I'll start to sleep with him using my father's manhood that I cut off from his dead body, and it can even ejaculate semen into that woman. If this woman is too beautiful for me to let her go, soon after using my father's manhood on her, then I'll start to sleep with her, like physically, and this woman, she'll be fast asleep. She'll be enjoying, she'll be sensing that she is making love to a man, but what she won't realize is that she'll be making love to a dead man's manhood. I've been staying here in South Africa for quite a long time now, so this snake, it has given me a very short time to live, for it told me that it was created in the 1980s, therefore it cannot live forever. It told me that it is time for it to die, and it can only give me a couple of years, so I have about 5 years to live, and it told me to enjoy the money whilst I can. I can even book prostitutes that are Latino women, and I fly them to South Africa. I date white women. I can even bring Chinese women that are prostitutes so that they can spend time with me at the hotel. When I came to South Africa, I never looked for any other accommodation, but I booked myself in the hotel where I stay. I only stay in hotels as expensive as it is. That is why women, they love me. I do not have anything. I don't even have a chicken back home that is in my name. I have nothing. With all the money that I have, all that I do is to blow this money on the women that I meet at different clubs. What I love about South Africa, my brother, is that when you meet a woman, she does not care much about you. All that she care about is how much you are going to give to her at the end of the night. Here in South Africa, I can even request 4 or 5 women, and I tell them that I want to sleep with them at the same time. As long as the cash is there, they will agree to sleep with me all at once. And when I take them from the club, when I bring them to the hotel room, then I'll take out my father's manhood and I'll start to sleep with them. What happens to them after that, I really do not care. This is my own confession. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me. It was a brief narration of a message that was sent to me by our dear brother. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. Let us try to talk with our brother in the comment section. He's saying that he does not have anything. He does not own anything back home in Zim. All that matters to him is all the women that he can spend time with here in South Africa. Then there is another message that was sent to me by our dear brother. The message reads like this: I sacrificed my wife. It was in 2014 for money rituals in Joburg. I don't know how to start this without even feeling so guilty about the things that I did. I did this because I just wanted to be rich. I wanted to be someone that was considered to be very rich, and I feel so much pain in my heart. Ever since I sacrificed my wife in 2014, my soul has been restless. I do drive all of these expensive, beautiful cars, and I live in a mansion with electric fences, and I wear beautiful clothes. Women, they love me, but the truth is that I killed my own wife, and this I did with my own bare hands, and it was something that was really terrible that happened to my wife because I pushed her off from the balcony. This I did, but let me explain it to you so that you can understand. I used to be a taxi driver. I went to university, but after university I failed to get a proper job. I was working in a supermarket at that time. I said to hell with this. The Greek man that we used to work for, he was a racist guy. He owned a spa, and I stopped working at that supermarket. That was when I started driving taxis. I started driving taxi for this other man who was a good man in our community. He encouraged me to come and work for him. He used to call me graduate. When I graduate, I want you to come and work for me. So I started driving his taxi, and my taxi boss, he was making a lot of money, but I was not able to make as much money as he was. So I used to speak with a lot of these Nigerians, those that sold second-hand clothes close to the taxi rank where we used to park our taxis before we could get into the main rank. So what I used to do is that I would go and sit with them, because there was this other lady who used to cook nice pap just close to the place where the Nigerians were selling the second-hand clothes. There was this other guy who used to speak much about the rituals, like money rituals that happened in his country. This made me to even want to become a ritualist. So there was this other man whom I will call Bratera. This man, he was a taxi owner, but he was rich. So I used to go to his place just to do a piece job, to wash his cars. One day I went there, and then I saw that there was a car there. It had a sticker of a traditional healer, and I asked him what was that man all about. He then told me that this man, he was a Sangoma, and he was from Malawi, so he had came to assist him because his daughter had the habit of falling down. She had epileptic seizures. That woman was once married, but because of the epileptic seizures, she had to return back, and she started staying with her own parents. So as time went on, that was when we started to talk more, me and Bratera, we were very close friends, and he told me that he had once done these rituals when he was still in the taxi industry. He said that he did this specifically because of some of the things that were happening in the industry. He then told me that he just wanted to see if these things were working, and I then asked him if he had seen if the things can work or if the things were not working at all. And then he told me that yes, indeed, he had managed to see that the things that he had been given by that Sangoma from Malawi had assisted him in a very specific way, because there was this other man that had came to him. This man came to him and the man started crying. I asked him why was the man crying. He told me that the man was crying because he had been hired by another taxi owner so that he can shoot this guy. So I started speaking with him and I asked him and I told him that I wanted him to at least help me so that I could be able to also speak with that Malawian Sangoma. He said that it was going to take a very long time because this Malawian Sangoma only assisted those that he wanted to help. As time went on, that was when he said, I have spoken with the Sangoma. He said that you can come. I went to him. It was on a Saturday and it was raining. This I still remember very well. When I was driving from town going to his house, I was even saying that maybe my ancestors, they do not want me to do this, because right in front of me there was a lightning that struck this other tree. And I said, maybe the ancestors, they do not want me to do this, what I want to do. But I just went ahead with whatever that I wanted to do. I arrived at his house and I saw that the Malawian man was there. I was then given a red cloth and I was told to go inside this other drum. They made me to stand in the rain until the rain was over. They said that they were busy strengthening me, so I was holding a human skull that they told me that this human skull had been brought from Malawi. This was done so that I can have a brave heart. They told me that you need to be a brave man because there are some things that you need to do, and those things that you're going to be doing, they are not going to be easy. You have to be brave. So Brother Nashim, I tried by all means to be as brave as I could, because even when I was holding that human skull, it was raining so hard and there was lightning that was striking all around me, but I kept on holding that human skull until the rain was over. They called me indoors and then a mirror was brought before me. I saw my wife. She appeared in front of me, and when my wife appeared in front of me, I asked them what my wife was doing in front of me, and then they told me that my wife was my sacrifice. I cried when they told me that my wife was my sacrifice. I said, but you never told me about any sacrifice. So why are you saying that my wife is my sacrifice? They told me that in order for me to be able to achieve anything, I was supposed to know that my wife was supposed to become my sacrifice. I then said, okay, it is fine. Then I was told that my wife was supposed to die, even though in a painful way. She was supposed to jump off from the balcony. I then said, if my wife is going to die by jumping off from the balcony after we have started making money, won't people say that I am the one that has killed her? Am I not going to get arrested? That healer laughed at me and he said, this one, he does not know me. Don't you know that a lot of people that die by jumping off the balcony, they do not die just by jumping off the balcony, but they are pushed to the edge by demonic forces. He told me that I should go on my way and I will start to make money very soon. So I then returned back home to my wife. My wife did not even know that this was what I had done. I used to feel so guilty looking at my wife, thinking about all the things that I was about to do. I would wake up and I would see that underneath the bed there would be money that will be underneath the bed. So as time went on, my wife, she started to get so sick. The more that she got sick, the more that I made money, Brother Nashi. And then we moved out of the location and we started staying in a gated community. I specifically chose a house that had a balcony. It was a big mansion because we were supposed to stay on our own. So then that was when I was told that the traditional healer, he was calling me to his house. I went to Four Ways where the man stays, and he told me that it was time. They called my wife. She was fast asleep. I had left her back home. She was taking an afternoon nap, and then I saw her in the mirror. When I saw my wife in the mirror, I was then told to get inside the mirror. Then suddenly I found myself, I was in the apartment where me and my wife was staying. I was in the bedroom and she was standing by the balcony. She was confused. She was even asking herself what is it that she was looking for by the balcony. I then started walking. I was so scared, but the Sangoma from Malawi told me not to be afraid because my wife had no way of even knowing that I was there with him. They told me to push my wife over the edge. This was the most terrifying thing that I had ever done, but I did as I had been instructed to do. I pushed my wife to the edge, Brother Nashi, and then she died. She crushed her head. That is how my wife passed away. So after my wife had died, her relatives, they were blaming me that because I was making money, I was abusing their daughter. That is why she chose to die in silence. But what they did not know, Brother Nashi, was that I was the one that had killed him using the charms. I started making money. To this very day, I am someone that owns several businesses, and these businesses that I own, I even ask myself, what is the real purpose really of owning all of these businesses, knowing that I can't have a child, and when I die, all of this wealth, it is just going to vanish. For this wealth will return back to this traditional healer. This is how I sacrificed my own wife. When I see a woman falling in love with me because I have money, it hurts me. It makes me to be angry at that woman. I once told this other girl, like she was a student at UJ, and she used to come to me and she would complain, I don't have money. I wish that I had money, and I'm glad that I have a man like you who has money, but it's like you do not want to give me money. I was angry at him because she had no understanding as to the things that I had to do in order for me to get where I am right now. Women, they make me angry when I think about the way that they demand money from men like us, yet they do not know where we get our money from. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Let us meet again in the following episode.